Hey, this is Randy Roush. I'm the Chief Executive Officer and EVP of Growth and Development for Pronto Delivery Services, and you have been watching Last to First.
Yeah. So I want to. You mentioned earlier you guys have had really significant growth in the last 6 years or so
Yeah,
under your leadership. You're now kind of at a space and a place where you think you can really kind of advance even further. Now
yeah,
you got some scale
right.
behind you. Um, Two-part question: where do you see the growth occurring? Whether it be geographically or customer segment, but also from my perspective, what's happening in the space today is you see some consolidation happening.
Yeah,
I think as final mile, last mile becomes more critical in today's supply chain, quite naturally you're going to have some contraction
yeah,
happen in the
yeah.
space.
I agree with that.
And technology. So years ago at a conference, I remember listening to one of my early mentors who was saying that the data is more important or just as important as the delivery.
Yeah.
From a tech standpoint, what are you doing to position yourself to offer that not just a customer service operational experience, but a technological experience that is going to align with the future expectations of the industry?
Yeah, so we're heavily into the development of technology that's going to help with um, the user interface side of the customer doing business with us, whether that's an online ordering process, notifications on what's happening on a daily basis with your delivery,
Mm-hmm.
um, the integration process with companies who are, I would say, aggregators, and they're building their networks of opportunity, but they need somebody to deliver.
Yeah.
And how can we integrate with you? So API, EDI, all those things we are heavily focused on and we're doing today. Um, the pieces of that, I can't. I guess the best way to explain this is how can we set ourselves apart with competition who may not have the tools to make it easy to do business with as much as you can with Pronto. We want to make that process seamless and smooth. And then I'll say this: our future our goal from an integration side. There are a lot of businesses popping up who have uh, those things working for them. I'll mention a few, like the Currys and the Brings and the Five Strings
Yeah.
and those types, who are looking to be an aggregator, and you can be part of that network, which we're working with them on. But at the same time, our aspiration is to also be
Go
that
direct.
way. And here's what that means. There are so many ways you can grow. So I'm going back to my private equity days, right? We can go into new markets. We can squeeze more blood out of the same turnip, with more market share from an existing customer base. The new market piece, we can acquire
Mm-hmm.
based on that, or we can be a thorn in somebody's side, or be an attribute that they don't have, and they can come our way and say, "Boy, we would like to scarf you up for these reasons." And I used to do that all the time, trying to sell the container grown business to people like Scott's and others that the people that manufactured Roundup and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why is that a possibility to get together? Because it's a common thread. I'm looking at also affinity partnerships. Why does Sephora have an entity inside of Kohl's? Why does McDonald's have some space inside of Target? Uh, what I'd love to see happen is for some like companies that would benefit from what we do and what we would love to see happen,
Mm-hmm.
do some partnerships along those ways. At some point, now this is a family owned business. At some point, there's a strike price on what we're worth.
Yeah.
And to that family to say, you know what, that's good, and we can make that happen. Um, I do believe that that's going to happen. I agree with you that there's consolidation that will take place. It has everything to do with how good are you in the things that you say that you do well, and it's not something we want to get involved with. Therefore, man, you'd be a great target for us.
Right.
And so we are attempting to plug the gaps where we feel that there's going to be a need, and the large entities that are out there may not want to go there. Walmart has bought several people. Target's bought a few with Shipped and whatnot, just to get technology for that matter. We have a new chief technology officer who has done a phenomenal job in getting that preparation ready for us. The fundamentals have to be right internally, but looking at what the future looks like relative to this. So it's really exciting.
Is your tech proprietary, or are you using a third-party system?
We're going to, it's a combination of both. Well, our TMS today is Dispatch Science. Okay.
Love them.
Yeah. And then we use Sphere on the warehouse management side of the house. We've been happy with all that so far. We will make adjustments along the way. I think one of the things that we're continuing to push hard, and it's hard in the on-demand world to get routing accurate, especially in the on-demand world. Our phone rings at 6:30 a.m., doesn't stop till 5:30, 6 o'clock at night, and we don't necessarily know what the request is going to be all day long. We're not in the business of doing, going to one location in the morning, picking something up necessarily and routing all day. We do that for Walmart, but we are an on-demand business saying, whatever you need today, call us and we'll make it happen for you. To the point of about 1,100 runs a day in DFW, Fort Worth, and or Dallas, Fort Worth, and Houston. But I would tell you this: I have a desire to branch out now, and go into more markets as fast as we possibly can, and then to prop ourselves up so that we look like we would be a great acquisition for someone.
I'm your host, Jason Burns, and we'll be bringing you the stories from the front lines, everything from last mile to the first mile in the most dynamic industry in today's supply chain. If you like the content we're producing, the videos we're releasing, the stories we're telling you, give us a like, subscribe to our channels, give us some feedback on how we can improve your Last2First journey.